after a pretty hectic year, we are back on another adventure, which is exciting. We've spent some time with Callum's family in Geelong, which was lovely. And now we are on the Spirit of Tasmania, heading down to hike the Overland Track.
We certainly are. You need to look out the window.
Yeah, so we're just in our cabin. We had dinner at the market. I can't remember what it's called, Market Garden Kitchen.
It was a good solid feed.
Yeah, we had a solid feed in the dining room, and now we've just come to our cabin to chill for the rest of the night. We should be getting in and docking at 6:30 in the morning, so we'll hopefully just sleep well and then get there rested to start tomorrow. We're on our way to Cradle Mountain National Park. Hi. And it's a good thing we don't suffer from car sickness, either of us, because if you do, this may be a little bit treacherous coming in.
It's good fun though.
It is good fun.
Driving the turbo. Woo!
Yeah, we're urban adventurers in our Subaru Outback. It's saying it's 6 degrees outside, but it's sunny, so we're hoping...
It's quite windy though as well.
Yeah, it's a little windy, so yeah, it's going to be a cold day. I think it was forecast to be max of 8 and minimum of 2, but I think as long as it's not wet, I think once it's wet, that's when it's a little bit harder to hike. So if it stays dry and cold, we'll be fine. We'll be fine if it rains too, we'll just be less comfortable.
On the bus.
Cold AF.
Yeah.
It's about 2 degrees.
Welcome to Cradle Mountain, Clair National Park.
We made it. It's 2 degrees at the moment. 2 degrees, and what do you say the windshield was? Minus 15. Yeah, on the summit. But so we're here.
The coldest hike, a little bit colder than the Hyson Trail.
A little bit colder than Scotland and Camino.
Sunny,
this is a new experience for us, but we're here. Kilometers in and it's been spectacular, but we're just trying to sort out like how to dress because we're getting hot, so we're in like a fleece and wet weather gear, but with the elevation then you start overheating, so it's an adjustment for us. That's good. It's good fun having a good morning hike. It's actually really nice weather for hiking in, really. When the wind picks up, it can get a little bit not nice, but we prefer it to be cold than hot, so we'll take that. We're coming up on about the halfway point to the first hut, but we've decided today we're going to skip the first hut. Well, we'll have lunch there and then we're going to walk through the second one, so it should only be about 18 kilometres to get to the second hut. Cradle Mountain, they've recommended maybe don't summit today, so we're just still weighing up our options with that. We'll see when we get there what we think. It's only a 2 kilometre return off the Overland Track, so it's not intensive distance wise, it's just the conditions up there can turn pretty quickly, and it has been a bit of a funny day weather-wise, so we're not sure. Hello from day 2, and we already had lunch today. We couldn't really film much this morning because it was very windy, misty, drizzly, overcast, and I didn't want to ruin the gimbal, so I haven't filmed much yet today, but it's just come good. So I'll fling you around and you can see what we can see. It's pretty spectacular once all the clouds clear. So we're on our way now. We've just left Windermere Hut and we're on our way to Pelion Hut. So this is a 16.8 kilometre section, but it looks like the weather will be kind to us for this last bit. So about 5 to 6 hours left of walking today. The shelter that we stayed at last night at Waterfall Valley Hut, I think it was called, amazing. They've the Parks Department here in Tassie have spared no expense, I think. So we decided not to pitch our tent and we just stayed in the shelter, which was lovely. And the only person who was snoring in the dormitory situation was that guy. So that was fun. We had to apologise to everybody this morning. So anyone who was with us, we're sorry if you could hear him through the walls or if you were in our dorm. Very sorry.
I had a great night's sleep though.
Callum had a great night's sleep, so. Good morning from day 3. We've set off pretty early today, about 6:15. No real reason, other than there was a lot of people at the shelter last night. Thought it'd be good to get a jump start on them. And just get into a shelter and hopefully get to bed again so we don't have to set up the tent. So we stayed at New Pelion Hut last night. There were probably, 60 hikers in there. Which was good to see. The most amazing views from the hut itself. You could see Mount Oakley, and we plan to come back and summit Mount Oakley at another time, but we don't really have time on this hike because we're on a bit of a schedule. It's quite It's quite spectacular and quite rugged, so a lot of hiking we've done, we've come across fire tracks and basically joining tracks to be able to connect all of the different trails, whereas this is one solid nature trail right through Cradle Mountain National Park. It's just boardwalks, roots, rocks, boulders, and that sort of thing. Morning, Callum.
Good morning. How are we all? Make sure to like and subscribe.
I'll show you what we're walking on this morning. Yeah. Yeah, so we're at Pellion Gap now. So that was about a 4 kilometre, 400 metre elevation, I think there. The facilities are amazing. I'm just filming it, but yeah, we're just commenting. Oh, we're both filming.
This is another hiker filming.
This is another hiker filming how good the facilities are. Hello from day 4. We have just left the Windy Ridge, which is now called Bert Nichols Hut. That's one of the older huts, but still amazing. We had like a bunk, and it was raining last night, so it was nice not to be in our tents. And we met some lovely people, exchanged numbers with a couple who were living the dream and touring around. So Jeremy and Joe, if you've taken Callum's suggestion seriously to watch our YouTube channel, hi, how you going? Hope the rest of your trip went well on the overland and you're enjoying your travels. So we've got about 15 k's to do today to get to Echo Point campground. We're going to stay there the night and then walk the length of St Clair into Lake St Clair Lodge tomorrow. I didn't film anything yesterday after the waterfalls, and here's why.
She had a meltdown. If anyone has been watching and they saw Camino when she didn't get her lunch, it was even worse than that.
Open when we come in, and we have a shower, and then we go to try and find food. Shut all the time. I haven't had lunch in 3 days. I'm starving.
I cracked a joke and she said, "I really don't think that's appropriate right now." She wasn't happy.
It was a joke about me though, so yeah, I think that was fair comment at the time because I'd already given him fair warning. I was not having a good day. I unfortunately had in my head we only had a couple of kilometres to go, and turns out that couple of kilometres was actually 8. So the last hour and a half were pretty painful, but it's all the mental game, isn't it? I set the expectations for myself. I was just getting a bit over having to put one foot in front of the other, but I ate well, we chatted with lovely people, had great conversation, and so then, as usual, I'm refreshed and refueled for today. So today's pretty well all downhill, or on the flats. It's pretty muddy. It was really coming down last night overnight. We'll probably be in our tent tonight, I think. Apparently the hut there is one, but I think it only sleeps like 4 people maybe. And it's a real old style one, which we're actually used to because that's kind of what they have on the Hyson, I guess. So it's been great. We've learnt a lot about, I guess, the overland, and big part of the overland are the side trails, which we didn't really quite comprehend. So a lot of the magnificent sites and the summits are all actually off trail. They're not part of the overland. So we've actually completed the whole thing and not summited anything. So we plan to come back and take a few days longer and then actually summit Cradle Mountain and summit Mount Ossa and Mount Oakley and all of those, and sort of do it how lots of people on this who we've met here have done.
Recce run.
Yeah.
It's just, getting the lay of the land sort of thing.
Mainly because I wasn't overly organised for this one and hadn't researched it like I normally do. But lessons learned, and we've still had a great time, and really we didn't have time enough to do anything more than what we've done. I know. It's a lovely way to end the hike. Yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah.
What's Russell Coit say?
Judging you
Yeah, just
for
laughing at
being
me.
rubbish. Look at that, we have fire.
Not yet. Not yet. We've got to get the twigs going. We'll get some
More twigs. More twigs.
Good morning from day 5, the final day, and we've only got 10 kilometres to do today from Echo Point Hut to Lake St Clair Lodge or Visitor Centre there, where we're going to have a night. It was a lovely night. There are only 2 other hikers in there with us, Glenn and Steve. If you're watching, hi. Thanks for a good night. We had fun. Yeah, it was a beautiful spot overlooking the lake, had a jetty that went out into the lake, and yeah, it was just a really nice final night. One of our favourite camp spots, I think. And then, yeah, this morning got up and it was cold, like super cold. So I'm still trying to warm up. We're about half an hour into the hike and I still can't feel my fingers very well. So yeah, it's been great. Like, it's our first real cold weather hiking, I guess. But all our gears stood up to it, and yeah, it's actually more than stood up to it. It's been great. Hey, my love.
Tony Hawk Pro Skateboarding.
Visitor centre. We can see the visitor centre.
We can hear the applause, the people standing by ready to welcome us in.
We're excited anyway. So we were here 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago. We did the Walls of Jerusalem hike and we said we'd always come back and do the Overland. And now we've done it. Sweet. And done. Tick. Oh.
That is Premier Alpine Walk, Tasmania's Wilderness World Heritage, 67 days, 65 to 80 kilometres, 8,000 walkers a year from 55.